Aoko inserted the tape into the VCR and handed the remote to Soujuuro. Just this small interaction used up a fair bit of Aoko's patience. Completely ignorant of Aoko's feelings, Soujuuro gleefully pressed the play button.
前から危なっかしいと思ってたけど、まさかここまでとはね。時代錯誤にも程がある。あんた、山で何やってたの？空手家じゃあるまいし、熊を倒す修行でもしてたとか言わないでしょうね。
Well, he didn't have electricity, so he couldn't have used any of this stuff.
Whether or not she knew this was rude, Soujuuro glared at her with disdain.
それはもしかして俺をバカにしてるのか?
No, it wasn't an attempt.
心外ね。事実バカにしてるんだけど。
Now or all the other times I talk about your...
Aoko answered unapologetically. On the TV, a crocodile's yawning mouth appeared.
そんなバカな話があるもんか。なんで熊を倒すために修行しなくちゃいけないんだ?
Soujuuro turned toward the TV in a huff. Perhaps because of his rare outburst, as he turned face to face with the gaping maw of the crocodile on the TV, he fell backwards in surprise. Aoko unpursed her lips upon seeing this, delighted. It was relieving to see the boy disarmed.
けど青崎、この機械ずいぶん埃が積もっているけど、掃除はしていないのか？
私はあんまり使わないし、アリスは見ないから今までほっぽってただけよ。ダメ元でトレーニング用に買ってもらったんだけど、飽きちゃった。イメージでどうにかできる問題じゃなかったっていうか。
What?
I love you, Aoko. Look at that smile.
Yeah, that's
fucking
a good
protect. Protect that smile. God damn it. Look at that. That's incredible.
She has some great faces.
Aoko shrugged at her past superficiality, and Soujuuro was led to believe yet another falsehood about modern life, that VCRs would go out of fashion. They sure did, eventually.
Try not to, yeah. Oh, was he?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I guess he was sitting down to watch a video.
Yeah, Aoko said, smiling as she walked out of the drawing room. Her grin was the cheap shot that left Soujuuro speechless. As he scratched his cheek, he was reminded of how she wasn't someone to be trifled with. After watching the end of the drama between the other two, Alice made for the reception area as well. Reception area?
The atrium, I guess.
The foyer?
Yeah.
The reception area. They have
They
a
an office
receptionist.
building?
They have a receptionist now. Left alone in the room, Soujuuro took his seat on the sofa. Well, it was certainly not easy making everything run smoothly around these parts. Until they came back, he could enjoy his crocodile watching in peace.
And then the video changed over 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and suddenly porn.
Yeah. Okay, streetlight over legs there. A little dissolve or fade in kind of thing.
They took the subway from Misaki for 6 stations.
6 stations?
From there, they rode another 3 stops by express train.
Wow.
After about an hour, Aoko and Alice arrived at Arisaka Station.
Huh.
While Misaki City was a mixture of old and new architecture, Arisaka was a brand new town built in accordance with recent government ordinance.
Oh, yeah, they straight up just built a whole new city, huh?
It was as though an entire town full of tall buildings sprouted up in the middle of nowhere.
It is crazy how fast Japan modernized.
Yeah.
Between, like, the Meiji Restoration and then right after the boom after World War II. Like, the whole country, like, changed over in decades.
It was near the end of December, in the middle of winter break. Even the bustling plaza in Misaki was quiet compared to Arisaka in the evening. Whether it's huge mall full of countless specialty stores or its crowded multi-purpose auditorium, there was really something for everyone here. For that reason, beyond its local residents, Arisaka's station was crowded with people from far and wide. Okay, there's something for everyone. Where's your, like, 600-year-old Shinto temple?
Yeah. Well, they might have a new Shinto temple.
へえ、あれが新しい
Oh,
レン
Alex
ト
has
ホ
a
ール
hat
か
now.
Alice does have
店
that
内
now.
最大のコンサートホールらしいけど、中はどうなってんだろう。なんか周りのビルより背が高くない？
Huh.
They made their way to the aquarium, weaving through the crowds. Aoko might have been used to city life, but Alice was silently anxious. The people passing by must have thought the pale girl out of place, which Alice happened to agree with. She was also wearing far too much white.
来年夏にはビッグアーティストも来日予定。で、ピンクトゥルーレが入ってない？ちょっとこれ日本初ライブよ、アリス。
You, foreign band you know of, huh?
Pink Trudy, huh?
Interesting.
Aoko exclaimed, overcome by excitement. This kind of pop rock band was right up Aoko's alley, but naturally, Alice did not seem very interested.
Well, yeah.
She was only interested in,
セレ
like,
モニーに予定されているポーランド楽団の方が驚きだ
Yeah,
と
she's more interested in the orchestra concert.
well, hey, they could go to the concert together.
Yeah, if it's opening for them.
Alice goes
that's
to see
weird.
the Polish orchestra.
And then sticks around while Aoko watches the pop band.
I'm
Odd
what
combination.
I'm struggling to work out is if a Polish orchestra is literally just like a standard symphony orchestra from Poland, or if it's like an orchestra made out of like fucking accordions and shit. Yeah.
It probably is a standard orchestra from
Like, is
Poland.
it just a bunch of accordion dudes playing
Yeah.
polka?
Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm gonna be very disappointed if a Polish orchestra does not include an accordion though, and at least an accordion solo where they're in like the middle of Mozart and they just bust into like a polka fucking accordion rendition of Mozart for a little while before going back. Oh man, that'd be fucking awesome.
随分とお金がかかっているようね。もっと懲りない人。
Aoko cursed under her breath before hurrying them along. Underneath the construction map read, with the support of the Kawonji group.
Oh. Yeah.
The aquarium they were looking for was on the top floor of a massive building.
What? The aquarium's on top?
When constructing a building, it's generally considered a good idea to not put giant tanks of water on the upper floors.
Yeah, usually.
There's a reason that most buildings that have an indoor swimming pool have the indoor swimming pool in the basement
or
on the ground floor.
Yeah.
And it's because you don't want it leaking to the other floors.
That's an insurance risk right there.
Yes, hi. We have a 20-story tall office building and we put an aquarium on the top 3 floors.
Yeah. What can I say? The president wanted a dolphin show in his office.
My God. If I can't have the manatees in my office, we're not having an aquarium at all, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because it was no longer a new attraction. Or perhaps it was because the first floor cinema drew the crowd.
That's on the first floor, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
Obviously. But with only a few people scattered around the entrance, the atmosphere inside was very calm. Not quiet, but desolate.
Oh.
And far removed from the hustle and bustle outside. Wasn't this a famous aquarium?
They say because it's no longer new, though. So I guess it got famous and then started tapering off.
Perhaps they were going for that museum-like vibe in the movie theater.
Oh. Alice sees something.
Alice quietly caught her breath, staring in awe.
She sees dolphins.
There was a movie showing called Star War. like a child seeing the circus for the first time. Her eyes were wide in anticipation
Yeah.
and wonder.
お、気に入ったみたいね。よかったよかった。宗十郎おすすめの物件は気難しいアリスさんのお眼鏡にかないましたか。
Aoko found herself smiling as well. There was a certain joy in seeing Alice's wonderment.
別に屋上にある水族館が珍しいだけ。
It is very novel.
It's very
yes.
novel. Yeah, not a common thing. According to the guide on the wall, the entrance to the aquarium was nearly as big as the Kolonji Mansion's foyer.
Okay.
The outdoor penguin show was apparently suspended due to the star penguin Flippy undergoing treatment for an injury.
Wow.
The outdoor penguin show on the top floor of an office building.
I guess there's a wall to keep them in, but that's very weird. I guess that maybe they bring the penguins out onto the rooftop, so they're only like temporarily in a warm environment. Or they're like the penguins from South Africa that can live in warmer environments.
An unfortunate state of affairs, but one that didn't stop Alice from continuing to read over the guide. Apparently, she was quite familiar with penguin shows.
I guess she likes penguins.
In her previous life, she wanted to be reincarnated as a penguin. It didn't work out. Then...
Oh?
Said like someone who could not believe what they saw. Alice quietly whimpered, as if holding back a scream.
何々、どうしたの？
Huh?
Aoko said, still looking at the floor plan. It was rare to see Alice getting this emotional outside of the mansion. For some reason, she was trembling. Nothing seemed terribly off about the aquarium's offerings.
ゾウガメがいない。
Oh.
That's what you're all broken up about? Is that they don't have any giant tortoises?
Got her hopes up, I guess.
えWhat?
話が違うわ、青子。どうしてゾウガメの展示スペースがない
Wouldn't
の？
that be at the zoo? I think a tortoise can live on land, right?
I mean, it can.
It's not like a turtle, it's a tortoise, so... Like, it's not a sea creature, I don't think.
どうしてって、
Her
そりゃゾウガメぐらいになったらもう
Yeah.
ほとんど陸上生物だからじゃない？大きいし。
I'm calling father about this immediately.
face. This must be fixed.
I will demand that we make a corporate donation to this aquarium on the grounds that they get a giant tortoise.
なんで？ペンギンはいるのに不公平よ。
Wait,
This
don't
is-
you like the penguins, though?
This is bullshit. They have penguins, but they don't have tortoises. I object.
イルカだって許せないわ。
Oh.
How do you... How the fuck do you possibly have the space for a dolphin on the top floor of an office building?
I have no idea how this place works. Oh my god.
Do you know how much space you need for a dolphin? Because it's not the top floor of an office building. It was a bitter pill for Alice to swallow.
Clearly.
The idea that they did not have a giant tortoise despite having a dolphin had Alice's eyes hot with indignation.
ああ、言われてみれば確かに。
Oh, yeah.
Only space wasn't the
I
issue.
guess that's weird.
ペンギンとイルカは定番なのになぜゾウガメだけ外されるのか。ちょっとした日常の落とし穴ね。
What were they
Nice
thinking?
humoring her, Aoko.
Oh, Aoko. Aoko said certain something like a giant tortoise would be boring and unpopular.
Oh.
She was sensible enough to read the room, however, and kept her thought to herself. All one of them.
アリス、こっち。 チケットはあるからそっちに並ぶことはないわよ。
And meanwhile, Alice is lining up for like customer service to complain about the lack of giant turtles.
After the giant tortoise fiasco.
Presenting the tickets they received from Soujuuro, they headed toward the once popular entrance. From the entrance gate, the corridor stretched into a dark hallway, completely illuminated in blue.
Oh, okay, we kind of get to see it.
Figures and faces became mere silhouettes in the darkness as we got this still of a 1980s video game. Not a darkness born from magecraft, but a man-made area of twilight. Oh man. Could have at least been like Battle Royale or something. A world of shadow and blue, the only light being from the illuminated tanks. The two witches continued walking down the artificial ocean corridor. Water tanks like windows into hundreds of different worlds, each with their own separate temperature and environment.
Oh, so they're really small tanks then.
You're not gonna fit a dolphin in one of those small tanks!
Well, this different area.
A snapshot of the same place at different times. Mesmerized by the refracting images of the ocean floor, conversation grew sparse.
そういえば、アリスの家ってあれだけ大きいのにプールとかないわよね。なんで？
Hey, your house doesn't have a pool. What's up with that?
呆れた。水槽を見て何を想像したのかは聞かないけど。
For your information, we weren't stupid enough to put one on the third floor.
Yeah.
必要ないものを欲しがるのはあなたの悪い癖ね、青子。必要ないってことはないんじゃない？水遊びはこっちよりそっちの方が馴染み深いでしょうに。あ、もしかしてアリス泳げない？
She can somewhat doggy paddle, I think it said.
I mean, I agree with Aoko on this one, though. Pools aren't superfluous.
泳ぎの経験ぐらいあるわ。夏は湖で何度も遊んだもの。私、大型のセントバーナードにだって負けなかったの。
I don't know if that's impressive or
セ
not.
ントバーナードってアリスさんたらもしかして息継ぎとか苦手かしら？この世で最も聞きたくない言葉の一つね。クロールとかバタフライとか。発明した人は半魚人になればいい。
It's not my fault. I'm just not half fish, like those damn swimmers.
Clack, clack, clack. Their pace was more delicate and solemn than a stroll along the beach. Their conversation continued, but was only particular for being in particular.
Huh. I don't quite understand what that's going for.
Sorry.
Nope, not a clue on that one.
In here, the only thing to do was look at blue screens. Guys, come on, restart your computers when they blue screen. Don't just leave them on.
でも驚いた。あんなにあっさり館の留守を任せるなんて。あいつがこっそり西館に入るかもとか考えなかった
I'm pretty sure there's traps, right?
彼、そこまで考えなしじゃないでしょ。
Oh, he can't be that much of an idiot,
He's
can he?
probably not dumb enough to try that.
それ
Maybe.
に。それならそれで手間が省けてせいせいした。そうじゃなくて。
No.
一度交わした約束は破らないんじゃないかって。
I'm showing a little trust in him.
I just think he's too much of a good guy to go against what I told him to do. That he was not. Aoko nodded, her long hair waving back and forth. A certain gleam of surprise in her eyes. Onward they meandered to the next aquatic world. Clack, clack, clack.
ところで水族館は初めて？これで2度目。昔、
Oh.
友達と2人で行ったきりよ。
You have friends?
嘘、本当？
Yeah, Aoko.
本当。6年以上も前、まだイギリスにいた頃。
So you left your friend in England, probably.
I had this friend. She was much younger than me. Blonde hair, rings.
そうじゃなくて友達の方。 あんた友人はいないって言ったじゃない。
Well, yeah, here.
Like I said, I had a friend.
昔の話よ。私たち同じ名前だったの。
Another girl named Alice then, huh?
それが縁でよく遊んでいたけれど長続きはしなかったわ。そっか、あっちじゃそう珍しくない名前なのね、アリスって。こっちで言うところの涼子とか花子みたいなもの？
Is
No,
Ryoko that common a name?
no, I meant her name was Kuanji.
Oh.
She was my cousin.
ええ、青子とか赤子とか黒子とか白子みたいなものよ。
Yeah, okay.
Shiro, for instance.
Well, yeah.
Guden.
後半はみんな普通名詞なんですけど。
Well,
It is common, yes.
Shiro doesn't end with Ko.
Did you ever watch the OVAs for Code Geass?
Which ones?
Any of them? Like, they mentioned a cross-dressing festival that we actually get to see in the OVAs. And, Lelouch's maid Sayako dressed him up and named him Luluko.
Yeah, well, I mean, Luluko was. I thought you meant like, you know, Akito the Exiled.
No. I mean, for the original series. There was just a whole bunch of side content.
Or whatever.
Nah. It gets all kinds of wacky shenanigans in just the side episodes.
Suzaku of the Counterattack.
I don't think that was animated.
How many times did they do the exact same story, by the way? Like you had Lelouch of the Rebellion and Suzaku the Counterattack, which were the same story.
Different sides, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's just whether Lelouch or Suzaku was the protagonist. I think, well, Akito was between seasons 1 and 2 of Lelouch.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, no, it was.
Just took place in a different area.
Yeah, and Lelouch actually showed up in it.
I did hear that.
Under, like, Britannian mind control during one of the
something.
various personas he had, kind of imprinted on him by Charles before he sent him back to school.
Huh.
So yeah, no, Lelouch actually showed up in Akito the Exiled. The swirling of the waters was dizzying, much like the hectic world of humans. Their hands swung back and forth as they walked toward the next world.
そういう青子は彼をどうするつもりなの？どうって今の一件を終わらせるまでおとなしくしてもらって落ち着いたら忘却のルーン探して
And we'll just
なかったこ
pretend
とに
it
するだけでし
never
ょ。
happened.
これ以上迷惑かけられないわよ。
そ
れは私に？
I mean, that was kind of an issue, yeah, about you not wanting him in your home.
そうに決まってるじゃない。
Wow, those periods,
ところでこ
though.
の魚綺麗よね。なんか泳ぎたくなってくる。ア
I
リス、
think some of those were supposed
来
to be
年の夏は
couples.
海にでも行ってみよっか。
Oh. Dot you. No. Me. Dot and you.
Yeah, oh. That patch can't come out soon enough. So, planning a trip to the beach with Alice, I imagine, because Soujuuro's not planned to be around next year.
Yes, I want to see you in a swimsuit.
Yeah, she
も
does.
ちろん。夏の海って言ったら灼熱の太陽と砂浜、水平線に沈む夕日ってね。
I'll even bring you a book on swimsuits or something.
Yeah.
今年は行けなかったけど、来年は一緒に行かない？呆れた。本当、
That
あ
wasn't
な
a
たって
no.
楽観的。
It didn't sound like a no.
でも、
Yeah.
そうね。夏まで生きていられたのなら、そういうこともあるかもしれない。
Clack, clack, clack. The two girls journeyed to the next oceanic wonderland, mutually taking in the sights. The visitors to these winter waters had begun to leave, satisfied by their touring, but dissatisfied at the lack of giant tortoise. The sound of their footsteps heralded their farewell. An hour into the wayfaring sea voyage. Better than the wandering sea voyage. Losing themselves in the maze-like corridors of seemingly endless exhibits, they somehow found themselves on the next floor.
Oh, I guess they like ramped up to get onto a second floor without real stairs.
See, now they're just being contradictory. Because earlier, they said that this aquarium was on the top floor of the building.
I think it said top floors.
It did not. It said the top floor. Singular.
Ah.
They cannot possibly have gone up to the next floor.
Oh. Well, I guess it's multiple floors. Might have been a typo there.
You lying shits. Aoko had heard that the aquarium was situated on the top floor, and was shocked to find out there was yet another floor above the top floor.
Huh.
Welcome to the top floor 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Why are you upset?
It was likely by design that the actual top floor could only be accessed from within the aquarium.
So it was the top floor the elevator could actually reach.
The moments of intrigue such as this are what attractions are made of.
Alice?
Turning this way and that, she found Alice had disappeared.
Uh-oh.
She had located a giant tortoise.
No, I think she found the penguins, probably.
She'd just been there, however, and Aoko took to looking for her.
Either the penguins or the dolphin.
She soon found her nearby. Her white overcoat shone brightly in the front of the dimly lit exhibit. She was staring motionless into the water tank. She almost looked to be staring through it, distracted by something.
どうしたのアリス？気分でも悪くなった？
She spoke, hoping to snap her out of it. Alice's typically cold aura seemed to have all but left her.
珍しい魚でもいた？それ、余り物を端に追いやりましたって感じの水槽だけど。
Like a combined tank?
Alice gave a non-committal response. Just ahead of her gaze was a single shadow.
Wow, mambo!
Oh, cool.
Alice remained motionless, unresponsive to Aoko's sarcasm. She stood in silence, watching the poor little fish drifting listlessly in the tank where they put the fish that didn't fit anywhere else, here at the end of the hall. To put it lightly, sunfish were not especially pleasant to look at.
Ouch.
When looking at one, it begged the question of what direction evolution wanted to take with it. It looked like it swam under rudder-like fins, using rudder-like fins on its top and bottom, but lacked the grace of other fish. The Aoko, its eyes, body, and strange movements made it an awkward creature. But...
ねえアリス、あっちの水槽見ない？
Ooh.
ジンベエ
You
ザメ
have
の
a
回遊
whale
とか
shark
夢麗しいわ。
on top of a building?
Dude, Nasu, do you have any idea how much a whale weighs?
Well, no, a whale shark, but
Even then,
it's like the biggest actual fish.
that just weighs a huge amount, Nasu. You're not just gonna slap that on top of a building.
That needs a huge tank. Oh my god.
But yeah, between the weight of the fucking fish and the weight of the fucking water, you have to keep in the fucking tank to put the fucking fish in.
That, I would not want to put that on the 20th floor of something.
Who designed this building? Alice, unmoved, fixated on the sunfish. It clumsily drifted around its tank, occasionally bumping into the glass as it turned. I'm gonna make that a ploy, she decided.
アオコ、この子、泳ぐのが下手だわ。
Do you relate to it, I guess?
Alice extended her finger toward the glass, then retracted it, feeling childish.
ま、いっか。愛嬌だけはあるしね、マンボ。
It didn't seem like Alice was going to budge. Resigning herself, Aoko stayed with Alice while she stared at the cushion-shaped fish.
へえ、マンボウってフグ目だったんだ。何々？マンボウのメスは一度に3億個の卵を海中に放出する地上で最も多くの卵を産む脊椎動物である。なるほどね。
Neat.
Yeah.
他の魚たちにとっちゃ格好の餌になるから多く産むこと。それ自体が生存のための手段になるわけか。
Yeah.
If I have 300 million babies, like, at
Some
least
will
one of them should survive.
Yeah.
Though Aoko seemed taken in by the biological details of the fish, Alice couldn't have cared less. She was lost in the ebb and flow of emotions between wonder and woe with every clumsy bump of the fish into the glass. When out of nowhere, she softly spoke.
さっきの話だけど。え？さっきの話って何？彼について。留守を任せるとか、そういうの。
It seemed like Alice had returned to her normal self. That cold aura. Wherever, inside the mansion or out, that stubborn chill that pushed people away was back.
私の気が変わったわけじゃないわ。依然として彼のことはわからないもの。わからない人を
Well,
どうやって
you
信頼
trust
すれ
him
ば
to
いい？
keep his word, apparently.
まあね。でも、じゃあどうして？青子のことはわかるわ。あなたはいつも正しい選択をする。だから、青子を信じる彼の人間性は信じてもいい。
She always makes the right decision, does she?
Well, I guess maybe she means like the moral decision or something.
It was true. She didn't know Soujuuro, nor had any intention to. But because of her trust in Aoko, she could trust in Aoko's decision to allow him to stay. It seemed Alice was challenging her own feelings. She said she couldn't trust someone she didn't know. Or, in other words, she wished to trust a person, and in order to do so, she needed to know more about them.
ま、口にするのはなんだから突っ込まないけどね。それより何？そんなに私のこと信頼してくれてたの？アリス？ええ。行為はともかく、信頼だけはしているわ。だって共犯者でしょ。私たち。
I mean, that is a good point. You can trust people without
Actually
liking them at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of, like, you know, pretty much every villain in anything ever. You can trust them to do
Villainy things.
you know,
Yeah.
you can trust them to behave in certain ways. It doesn't mean you think they're a good person or that you know identify or whatever else with
In
them.
this case, they're almost like business partners for Magecraft stuff.
Her white coat swayed to and fro. Just like that, their short excursion had come to an end. Straight ahead was the exit back to the real world. A step away from the exhibit was a step toward becoming better roommates.
Hopefully.
優しい顔をしているのに傷だらけね。
One last small whisper. And with that, she bid farewell to the lonely figure in the tank. The sun sets early during winter,
Boy, does it.
falling below the horizon by 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, not quite, but
Depends on quite how far north you are.
evening seemed to arrive at the mansion earlier than in the city.
なるほど。君の生態はよくわかった。
Okay.
Good for you. How far north is, like, Japan anyway, relative to, like, like where are they relative to us?
I think it lines up with the northern United States decently well.
Let's see. Japan is at, maybe it'll give me the latitude, longitude. So Tokyo is at 35 degrees 41 minutes north.
Huh. Where is New York City by comparison?
Damn, I was hoping there would be like a convenient link to New York City up there somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be convenient.
I mean, I refuse to believe that New York City is not mentioned on like the Tokyo page or whatever, but
I mean, you could just Google that.
At 35 degrees 41 minutes. New York City is 40 degrees 42 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So it's so Tokyo is 5 degrees south of New York City.
Okay.
What about Hokkaido? Hokkaido is at 43 degrees north.
Ah, okay. So it's touch, like, yeah, a bit above New York City then.
But like, where is that relative to like Alaska? I mean, it's gotta be south of Alaska, right?
Should be.
Alaska is at
Maybe Juneau.
51 degrees,
yeah.
20 minutes north.
Okay, so a good bit south of Alaska then.
Well, like,
Thinking some...
like Saskatchewan, maybe, or
Oh, somewhere in Canada?
Quebec.
Okay.
Quebec is 52 degrees north.
Definitely closer to
So
Alaska.
Hokkaido is at 43, right?
Oh yeah, Hokkaido is north of New York City, but south of Quebec. So not quite Canada north.
Yeah, it's not like the northern north.
Right. Different terrain and jet streams and all that,
Yeah,
though.
43 degrees north for...
Huh. Yeah, so they're... so yeah, Tokyo would be more like Pennsylvania-ish.
Maybe. Or like Maine?
No, Maine's farther north.
Out of curiosity. So Maine... 42 degrees north. So Maine is actually slightly south of Hokkaido as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
but it's the lower border. The upper border
Yeah,
extends
yeah.
higher. So Hokkaido is like a tenth of the way through Maine. Ish.
Okay.
Like maybe a fifth of the way through Maine. Okay.
South Maine. Okay.
Yeah. Southern
Interesting.
Hokkaido is equivalent with southern Maine.
Hmm.
Cool. Soujuuro sat alone, sipping his warm tea in the chilly room. He relaxed on the couch, staring out the window, having had his fill of crocodiles. Once he sprawled out on his sofa, his body refused to move.
I guess they meant his sofa, that third one they brought up from the basement.
Maybe he'd had always wanted to try it on his sofa.
Like maybe he'd always wanted to try it, and then they went back and changed it and mangled it a little.
Maybe he'd had always wanted to try it on his sofa. After 3 straight hours of crocodile watching, he wondered, why did Kinomi have a 3...
No, it wasn't.
Wait.
It was only an hour, 20 minutes.
They said it was a 120-minute cassette.
So he watched it like 3 times.
Well, 3 straight hours would only be 180 minutes, so we watched it like a time and a half.
Well, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
But why do you have that much crocodile anyway, Kinomi? He wondered what it would be like to laze there for the remainder of the day as he nervously checked over his shoulder. Just as he was considering taking the opportunity to nap until Aoko and Alice returned, an unfamiliar sound echoed through the halls of the mansion.
Knocking?
Undergoing a sluggish evolution of his very own, he rose from all fours to being a bipedal. There was a knocking sound at regular intervals. The sound, distinctly coming from the front door, was more familiar now. He'd experienced it before during his days in the apartment.
新聞の勧誘か
Who the hell would hike up the mountain for that?
A newspaper salesman, evidently. As he made for the foyer, Soujuuro noted how impressed he was that they had hiked all the way up the hill. The sound resounded eerily. Without a doorbell of any kind, visitors had no choice but to rap on the door using whatever they had in hand.
No doorbell, yeah.
It would take an iron-clenched fist to produce that kind of sound.
Uh-oh. Like an actual fist made of iron banging on the door?
From his position in the hall, the front door looked like an ornately built fortification. The strong double doors looked as though they could withstand any onslaught of blows except for all the glass in them.
Yeah.
They rattled in protest to the repeated knocking.
Oh.
Try as this person might, it seemed no amount of enemy attack could breach the castle gate. But Soujuuro, having experience selling newspapers himself, announced himself.
Hi, 今開けます。
Oh boy.
He knew what it was like to be in their shoes, so was unsurprised by their unwillingness to surrender. Aha!
Hi.
Hello, newspaper saleswoman.
Lady from the pachinko parlor.
Wait,
おう。
there stood the second surprise today. Soujuuro stood speechless and motionless. The young woman hardly looked the part of a newspaper salesman.
Right.
Standing in the courtyard against a backdrop of the dusk horizon, she looked more suited to being a resident of this Western-style mansion, at least more so than Soujuuro. She had a dainty frame, but a striking presence nonetheless. She was a little shorter than Soujuuro, but tall for a woman.
She's shorter than him?
Her light green clothing was delicate yet flashy and clearly something out of foreign fashion.
I wouldn't call that light green myself, but okay.
Bold, but prim, proper. Though slightly loud, her appearance spoke of strength and confidence. That kind of woman not to be trifled with that Soujuuro knew all too well. Only, unlike the ones he knew, this woman appeared more friendly than intimidating.
Is that why you ran when you first saw her?
Perhaps it was her short hair that made her look approachable. Bright and brown, it stopped just above the nape of her neck. Soujuuro, yet to say a word, thought what a shame it was to be so short. If it was
hair, I guess. Yeah.
If it was longer, it would look almost like Aoko's. She looked at him and offered a smile. Despite looking older than Soujuuro, this made her appear impish and cute. Soujuuro knew himself to be made of stronger stuff than to fall for cute smiles and found it more than a little suspicious. At any rate, it was rude to stare for too long.
どちら様でしょうか?
He asked shyly, steeling himself. To which she replied,
こんばんは。青子います？
No.
No. She smiled as she used Aoko's first name with a sense of familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just still thinking Toko.
青崎はいないんです。
Oh, and Aozaki is. Hi, nice to meet you. What about Aoko, though?